Hey y'all, welcome back to Weekly Hyperfixations. If you're new here, I'm Riot. And this is a long-standing recording of things that my brain hyperfixates on over time, which kind of also tracks society over time, societal interests, large events, things like that. And especially large events for this week. Election day was yesterday, as of recording. So here we go. Also, I hope everyone had a happy Halloween. Last week's episode was conveniently set to be posted on Halloween, so that was really fun for me. But it was overall a really good weekend, and also I'm free of being in the DM chair now because we're putting my campaign on hiatus so we can have a couple one-shots and then move into a new campaign done by my partner instead. Just so that, you know, we kind of all have a grasp on the game now. Now I'm kind of setting them free. We're going to learn, you know, we're doing new characters for each one shot, and then we're doing new characters for the long campaign. That we're creating on a separate day as well. So that's really fun. This week, a majority of things about Election Day that I find very encouraging. This is a very Hope Core-esque list of things to talk about today, and I'm very excited about that. First and foremost, the mayor-elect of New York City is Zoran Mamdani. Huge congratulations to him, and this is a huge step forward for the country, actually. Not just New York, though it is a gigantic step for New York because, you know, he, in his campaign, promised things like bus fares being free. And of course, bus fares aren't going to be as on time as, say, you know, the subway, but it's still a huge step in the right direction. And it's very exciting. In California, and I'm covering some of these things because I know some of my viewers aren't from, you know, these are things that happened in a bunch of different states. None of which, like, you know, no one's a citizen of all of these states, you know what I mean? And also I know I have some viewers from across the pond, so I kind of want to explain some things. So in California, Proposition 50 passed. That essentially is a response to how the current leader of the country is handling any amount of the healthcare system, and it is a proposition to make it so that the citizens of California have more control over what does and does not happen healthcare wise and things like that. So it's really important, and it's really good that it passed. I don't know why people wouldn't want that kind of thing under their own control. But also, you know, that kind of tells you, it kind of just by saying it gives the common people more power towards healthcare, you can already tell who would have voted against it just by that. So it's excellent to hear that it's passed. That's also a huge step forward. We had a lot of wins, as of basically today, and that's very exciting. Next up, and I don't even know what party she's for. I can look it up right now. But the state of Virginia just got their first female governor. And then, hold on. If I remember correctly, we also got the new, hold on, and then Chicago also got you know, first woman elected to something, and I can't remember what it was. I will say, just to read the first headline that pops up when I type in Chicago election results, the first article is actually about these elections, which are not considered primary elections. There are some people who only care about primary elections because that's like the president one and stuff like that. But this first headline is Democrats sweep key races in 2025 elections in early referendum on our current country leader. I'm trying to see where in the world. Yeah, but the lady, hold on. The way I have to look it up on Twitter, because Twitter will know what I'm talking about over Google, because Google's surge towards AI has made results on that app just like I almost said unplayable. That's not the word. It's made, the AI feature has made Google so unhelpful. The only thing that I have to, the only time I look on Google is if I'm going into Google Scholar. So that should tell you a lot about that. Where in the world is this tweet? I swear to God. Do I just, hold on. Where? There. Yes. Here. Yes. We also had the New York Marathon recently, which was really fun. Let me see here. Where the frickin'? I'm so sorry, guys. I'm usually super prepared, but I didn't write down specifically the Chicago one, and I instantly forgot it. Like, I instantly forgot. And you think I'd have a handle on this by now? You know what I mean? Like, you think I'd be super, it was right there and I accidentally, you know when you accidentally swipe the wrong way on an app and it's like, oh, you want to go back to the home page? No, I actually just lost all my progress in looking for the thing. I literally made eye contact with the post and then lost it again. Oh my God. What is her name? Mary Sheffield is the first woman to be elected mayor of Detroit, not Chicago. Jesus Christ, I had a moment. So we've got her in Detroit, and then Virginia just elected their first female governor. So also quite a few wins for women in politics, which is nice. It was a bit of an upset. People thought that New Jersey was going to swing red, as they say, during this election. And great news, it did not. It stayed blue, so that's nice. The Georgia Public Service Commission flipped from red to blue because it elected 2 Democrats into the Public Service Commission, which is also really nice. And Lord, I know that they need help. Especially with all of the data centers that are being built in the South, and it's ruining people's water pressure, water cleanliness, things like that. And I look at that, and my family back in Georgia is like middle class, like upper middle class. My mom still doesn't drink the tap water. No one in the house drinks the tap water. Like, we already don't do that. You're gonna make her more anxious about it? Ugh. My mom doesn't need anything else to worry about. I promise you. And then Colorado approved free school meal programs, which is really nice. That's also great to hear because I literally know a childhood friend who hasn't like a baby, and more recently I think moved there to Colorado. I think they're still in Colorado. But that's good to hear. because that's the only time that, you know, I hear, oh, they're approving free school lunch programs. I go, oh, that's nice. But it's really nice. It's like that added level of it's more I think personable is not the word I'm trying to use, but like it has more impact to hear about it happening in a state where you know someone who has kids that would be affected by the ability to have that. Even if my friend doesn't need that for her kid, you know what I mean? Even though I don't want kids, I still care about my town being a safe environment for children. You know what I mean? Let's see. Ooh, this is the last thing that passed that I wanted to talk about, because some people may not entirely know what it means. So in the state of Maine, when you're looking at the map of the US, it's, hold on, I need to do it not from my perspective, but from your perspective. You know, we got Washington over here, California down here, Florida, Maine, the top corner, okay? Maine approved a gun restriction that's being called the red flag gun restriction. So basically what that means, and they've had a yellow tag thing for a while, but now they're full on going for the red tag thing in order to help prevent things like school shootings. Basically, it means that if you have history of mental health in a way that's severe and can wildly cloud your judgment and cause you to do things that are out of character, things like that. If you have anything like that, you will not get approved to own a firearm. Similarly, if you own a firearm but are diagnosed with something like that, the state is allowed to revoke your ability to have that firearm. So essentially, if something about you is a red flag towards owning a weapon, the state of Maine can, like in some scenarios, there's a lot of places in the country where even if you have a history of like domestic violence, some states will still sell you a weapon. Not allowed in Maine really anymore. If there's anything about a person that says, hey, this person probably shouldn't have a firearm because like either they've got a history of snapping in a violent way, or maybe they have mental health that makes them unstable in that way. Anything like that, they are allowed to say, no, you can't have a firearm. Which hopefully is going to be super helpful. Especially with also even past worrying about school shootings, some people will consider, shall we say, turning it upon themselves, rather than seeking professional help. This would also help lower those rates. So I think that's a really cool thing to see. And I'm honestly baffled. I mean, I've always been baffled that there's no restriction for things like that. So I'm very glad to see it actually happening. And those are our election day things. Next up, Glamour magazine held their Woman of the Year award ceremony, which was Miss Rachel. If you haven't heard of Miss Rachel somehow, she, I believe, is on YouTube and does programs for kids. And she's really embodying kind of the same vibe of early 2000s PBS, where, the priority is being a good person. And with all of her work, you know, with Palestinian children and raising money for Gaza, she won Glamour Magazine's Woman of the Year award. Her dress for the awards ceremony was a black dress that had a little white capelet thing on top of it. And on that, embroidered, maybe printed on, it was kind of hard to tell, but on it, on the white part, were drawings made by Palestinian children. Girl, if that ain't an excellent use of platform, I don't know what is. Also, she's Woman of the Year for using her platform to advocate for children in Gaza. Because I don't care if you think someone is... I don't care if some people in the world think that the people in that country are at fault in their current scenario. Children are dying. And that's a very serious thing. And seeing a woman whose platform is completely built on, you know, helping children, I am so utterly glad to see that she is of good moral character. And I thought, even highlighting that in a dress at an awards ceremony that's meant for you, and highlighting these kids, even though you're at an event where you're supposed to be the focus, is beautiful and is meaningful. And I'm so glad that she has this platform at all. So that's excellent. Also, there's a lot of memes on TikTok of little kids being upset, and then you turn on a Miss Rachel video and they're fine now. They're chilling because she's so good at what she does. You know what I mean? And she's using that platform of her being good at what she does to help save children that she's never even met across the world even. So I thought that was really special and I wanted to highlight that. Now, the rest of the things I got for my normal notes are all silly goofy. Okay, bear with me. They're all silly goofy. First of all, today's November 5th, tomorrow's November 6th. You will all be seeing this November 7th. Okay. The Percy Jackson TV series season 2 trailer is tomorrow. As someone who's so wildly scarred by the movies that I haven't seen the first season of the show, I think this trailer will determine whether or not I go back and watch the first season. And of course, I'm not doing it through the regular Mouse's channels because I don't want to give money to the mouse. But I'm nervous about it. I think it'll be fine, but I'm a little nervous about it. There's also some things to say about the One Piece live action, but I'll really just get into them on the pyramid because both things that are related are on the pyramid. So, this is a little side note. I haven't watched the newest episode because it happened literally earlier today. But today was Snapcube releasing episode 3 of the Kingdom Hearts fandub. I'm very excited about it. I haven't watched it yet, but I will after this. That's my reward for getting my work done. Listen, when you got ADHD, you have to motivate yourself somehow. And I've got a candy bar and Kingdom Hearts. Okay, that's my reward. But literally like today, I think, Haley Joel Osment, who's done music for actual real Kingdom Hearts, took a picture of, you know, the little recording booth light that says recording in a studio. And she said, back in the studio. And everyone immediately went, are we getting Kingdom Hearts 4? Kingdom Hearts 4? Is Kingdom Hearts 4 happening? I hope so, because that'd be really funny timing. But also I would love a Kingdom Hearts 4. I don't even play Kingdom Hearts. I would love a Kingdom Hearts 4. At one point I considered playing all the Kingdom Hearts games, and then I remembered the one that has like the action card things. Stressed me out. Stresses me out. So instead I watched my little brother, who was like 10 or 11 at the time, play all of them. So I'm up to speed, but but you know. But I thought it was really funny that we got some Kingdom Hearts 4 rumors at the same time as like the whole Kingdom Hearts fan dub thing is going on, literally in the middle of that, because I think there's only 5 episodes of it. In the middle of that, we get like rumors starting about Kingdom Hearts 4. Thank you. That's great timing. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and move on to the pyramid. I'm going to real quick check my texts in case my partner is on the way home. They are not, but they've read my texts. Let me just real quick. I don't know why I went silent. That was terrible. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the pyramid. The first 2 on the pyramid are a little silly goofy. And then we've got some obvious choices and then some One Piece live action choices. So, first up on the pyramid is this kitten that is in my house right now. He is presumably half Siamese, half tabby, because he looks like a Siamese, but his fur coloring isn't right, and he's got some patterning on his legs and tail. His name is Luffy. He was named 2 different things at first. I think it was like egg or scrambled egg singular, and I think like Smoky Quartz maybe was his name before. But he likes to climb everything in sight, and he's kind of lanky, so he stretches a lot. So I started calling him Luffy as a joke, and that's now his name. His name is Luffy. He is less than 6 months old. We're not entirely sure how old he is, but he's less than 6 months. And if you've ever had a male cat, you know why. We know he's under 6 months old, but he's so unbelievably cute, and we are trying to get someone who wants a cat to have him. And I know my bestie hearing this would be like, I want that cat. Homie, I can't get that to you. I can't get this little man to you unless you come get him yourself, dog. We're expecting that we won't be able to, we're expecting that we won't find anyone to take him until he's been neutered, which is fine. He's cute. We all love him, but we have too many animals already. He needs to go somewhere. And so we've kind of been like tentatively asking around with people. He's a cutie patootie, but his name is Luffy after Monkey D. Luffy, because he climbs around like a little monkey. And I said that out loud at one point. I was like, oh, little monkey climbing the ceiling of the crate he's in. It's one of them metal wire crates, because he's still small enough to comfortably be in there. Spider climbing the ceiling. And I went, oh, kind of like a little monkey. And then I went, I'm going to call you Luffy now. And it has stuck solidly. Everyone calls him that now. So that's really cute. So little Luffy's on the pyramid because he's adorable and I love him. And unless I got another picture later today, I've only been able to, as of recording, I've only been able to get one picture of him that is clear. Most of the time he's moving too fast. So he's very cute though. Oh, I guess I have that picture of him loafing, but it's not a super great quality. Next up on the pyramid, guess what? Another feline. Next up on the pyramid is this cat that is not ours, named Biscuits. He is 12 years old. Wheezes all the time, literally all the time, to the point in which we're like, do you have asthma or something? Because it's literally all the time he is wheezing and sounds like he's congested. And apparently he's always been like that, so I don't know. He's clearly taken care of. He's just wheezy. But he's a sweet old man, and sometimes if his owners do not come home by the time it gets dark and cold outside, he will just sleep on our back porch. It's a closed porch. and we do have a cat bed out there for him. But he does have owners, and he does like he spends most of his day outside. But he's an excellent cat. And we have talked to the owners. I want to make that clear. We have talked to the owners. That's why we know his name is Biscuits. That's also how we know it's a guy. But he's a sweetie. And you know those front carriers for babies that are like cloth that people put cats in? I think he'd really enjoy one of those. Though I'd be worried about him kneading onto anyone's chest, because he's got sharp claws because he lives outside. I've seen him fight another cat. He wins. He may be 12. Bro's got fists. He's got thoughts and prayers. But I needed to fill out the bottom 2 spots on the pyramid, and I thought it'd be funny. Since we've got a little bit of a Hope Core episode, to put some fuzzy little friends on there. No, I'm not putting Beatrice on there, because if I wanted to put her on there, she'd be on there every week. And that'd be too much. So, also I thought I might do that for her birthday in February instead. Okay. Next up on the pyramid. And I need you to know I spent 20 minutes, and my dumbass did not look up like an interview with him, because I was trying to figure out, okay, I want to pronounce his name correctly, so I need to find clips of, you know, people saying his name. I went to his Instagram instead of looking for an interview with him. Why'd I do that? Next up on the pyramid is Xolo. I can do this. Maridueña. I don't know how well me making the R sound, do the little thing, came across. But Xolo is on the pyramid this week because, not at all to my surprise, he will be playing Podcast de Ace in One Piece live action. Now, this announcement happened literally today. And you may be thinking, but you just said not to your surprise. Yes. And when that video came out, I do believe I covered it. I think I did, at least. But big thing. There was a video, you know, in correlation with Cobra Kai, which is the show that Xolo has been on, and then OPLA with Iñaki. They did this little collab video thing where they had Iñaki come on set and learn a fight sequence with Xolo. And they did the back-to-back pose that Luffy and Ace do. And I went, "You're Ace, huh? Aren't you? You're definitely who's gonna be Ace." Fast forward to now, you know, partner shows me, "Hey, did you see this is the guy that's gonna be Ace?" And I went, "I know exactly who that is." And, you know, of course, my brother texted me, "Hey, Blue Beetle is Ace." And I went, "Yeah, I know." So, and now, of course, when that video came out, it was like, obviously not, like, it wasn't saying that he was going to be playing Ace, but the undeniable, like, brotherly chemistry in there, and Iñaki clearly was like, "We got to do the back-to-back pose thing." Yeah, okay. I know it when I see it. So I'm really excited about that, though. Especially since his most prevalent acting thing that I have seen is him as Jaime Reyes, which is one of my favorite DC characters. Thank you very much. Big on Blue Beetle. Thank you. So I'm very excited about that. Next up on the pyramid. Oh my god, I can speak. Next up on the pyramid, I've talked about them before because they most recently won a Tony Award for their role as Mary Todd Lincoln. Next up on the pyramid is Cole Escola. They are going to be playing Mr. Tubon Clay. I'm so excited about it. First of all, if you're not familiar about One Piece, Mr. Tubon Clay is very heavily like Swan Lake ballerina theme visually. And because ballet is a part of Tubon Clay's fighting style, basically, I was like, okay, clearly it has to be a theater kid. Because that's how it has to be like a musical theater kid, because that's how you're going to get good acting and good dancing out of a person. Unless they are separately training for both, but it's most likely going to be a theater kid. Tubon Clay is pretty out there. Also, we get to call Mr. Tubon Clay he, they, because Cole Escola is they, them. Thank you. As if we didn't think that Tubon Clay was some sort of queer, but you know. Also very exciting as a non-binary person to see someone who uses the same pronouns play a huge role in a very well-known piece of media. Huge moment. So that's why Cole Escola is on the pyramid. And then not finally. I'm reading my arrows wrong. Next up on the pyramid, probably not super shocking. Next up on the pyramid is Miss Rachel, because again, using your platform of doing a TV show for kids, or rather a program for kids, because I think it's on YouTube, doing that, and, you know, even though you have money for, you know, donating money to Gaza, helping children in Gaza, using your platform to teach children about Gaza, because she has had a little girl from Palestine on her show, just using your platform to be the best role model possible for children is not seen very often anymore, and it's very encouraging to see. So that's why Miss Rachel is on the pyramid. And then finally on the pyramid, our top spot, because not only one of the more important figures on the pyramid, obviously, but also this is Weekly Hyperfixations. I highlight what my brain focuses on in the week. So obviously, the top spot on the pyramid is to Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani, and I'm so jealous of New Yorkers, actually, because he is a man who very clearly cares about the city, and he made sure in how he campaigned to highlight that he is he's not one for billionaires. He is a man who is for the common people. You know, he showed up to debates after taking the subway to get there. He literally, I don't know how much he even slept this week, because every single time I open a social media, it's like, here's him dancing with old ladies at, I think, like a dance class or something, and it's nighttime in that. And then he showed up to a gay bar at like 2 a.m. And then 6 a.m. election day, he's out and about. And I'm like, and a couple people have said this, but we're all like, be honest, how much did you sleep this week? You need a nap, dog. Like, but he's top of the pyramid because this is I fucked the camera. Hold on. Okay, my apologies. I hit the desk on accident and that caused the camera to lose its marbles. So we're gonna wrap up here. Zoran Mamdani is on the pyramid because him winning the mayoral election for New York is showing that there is still hope for this country in general, and that if, you know, as a unified front we can, and we really just need to do that, and him winning really shows that. So that's why Zoran Mamdani is on the pyramid, and I say thank you, good sir, for giving our country hope. I'm jealous of New York. That's the pyramid for this week. Let me just say, we are 44 weeks into Weekly Hyperfixations, which is crazy. I am thinking about changing at least the regular format of thumbnails so it's easier to distinguish each year. Because, you know, we're at 44. That's what, 8 more before we've hit a year of this, I think. So that's really exciting. And like on top of that, thank you all for sticking with it. I mean, it's been a hot minute. And a lot has happened, you know, just generally through the year. And I want to thank you all for being on this journey with me. Yeah. It's astonishing how much growth you can see within one small YouTube channel in a year. But regardless, as I always say, leave a like if you enjoyed. Comments really help small channels, that kind of engagement. The algorithm likes that, you know the deal. And it doesn't have to be about the video. Like, fear not, it can be about whatever. I'm just excited that you're here, really. So thank you all again so much for watching. I'll be here next week, same time, same place. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I hope you have a good week next week. You'll be seeing me again next Friday. So, with that, have a good week. Also, totally forgot to mention, but if any of you celebrate, it was a couple days ago, but happy Samhain, which is also the pagan New Year, basically. So in that respect, Happy New Year. And of course, you know, everyone else will have their designated New Year, soon. But, anyways, that's all for this week. I'll see you next week. Yeah. Bye, y'all.